Hi, my name's Anouk from Maker's Loft. We offer a wide range of creative projects as part of the Maker's Box. So thank you for purchasing one of our Maker's Loft, the Maker's Box Macrame creative packs. I'm going to run you through the steps of firstly learning some basic macrame knots, and then we're going to go into making one of these gorgeous little key rings. With the knots that you'll be learning today, you'll be able to make a whole bunch of things, from jewelry, friendship bracelets. You can also do micro macrame, and I'll show you some more things towards the end of the video to hopefully inspire you to keep doing macrame. So firstly, what you need from home is a sharp pair of scissors. As sharp as you can find is good, and possibly a comb. It doesn't really matter what kind of comb, but a comb that we can later on use to comb out the fringing of your keyring. In your pack from Maker's Loft, you will have received a board, 2 clips, and a keyring clip. You'll also have received 2 practice cords and a bundle of 2mm macrame cord, which is the size that you need to make the key rings. So let's get started with setting up for our practice. So first, fold your 2 practice cords in half, and for now we're just going to clip them onto our board with the large clip, just like that. So you'll have 4 strands of cord. The 2 center ones are what we call the anchors. So we're going to use them to anchor the knot around, and we're going to start with a square knot. If you've already learned how to do a square knot, you can skip past this stage. So what we're going to start with is we're going to do a figure 4 with our left hand cord, and then we're going to bring our far right one over the top of the base of the 4. Then we're going to push the right hand cord underneath the anchors and out through the loop of the 4. We're going to slide the knot up and tighten it. This is just the first half of our square knot. The second half you'll do it in mirror image. So we're going to do the 4 on the right hand side with the left hand cord coming down over the top and going underneath the anchors and out through the loop of the mirrored 4. We're going to slide it up and then pull it tight. It helps to slide it up before you pull it tight. This is what we call a square knot. Keep practicing your square knots, going from left to right until you run out of cord. You should now have the hang of a square knot. Let's undo this and practice the spiral knot. So keep the same 2 center cords in the middle, and we're going to start off in exactly the same way with your figure 4 on the left hand side and then the right cord over the top. Bring your right cord underneath your anchors and out through the loop of the 4. Slide up and pull tight. The difference now is that we stay on the left hand side the whole time. and eventually our cord will begin to spiral. Usually by about the 4th knot we start getting a spiral. So you can see it's starting to twist now. When it's ready to do a full twist, go with it and make sure you stay on the left-hand side. And untwist your anchors as well. One thing to remember when you're doing macrame is to make sure that your knots are nice and tight. Your work will look much neater, and you'll know that every knot is exactly the same. Let's now get ready to make our keyring. You should have 6 strands of 2mm cord. We're going to put these onto the keyring using a Larks head knot. Pick up your keyring, and where your cord is folded in half, bend it over your keyring and pull the opposite end through the loop. That's a Larks head knot. Now do the same with the remainder individual cords. Make sure that all the loops from your Larks head knot is facing the front of your clip, and you're now ready to clip it on to your board. Make sure all the knots are pulled tight, and we're going to start with the first 4. You can flick the other ones to the side if it helps you get yourself organized. So this time we are going to hold our anchors with our fingers because it's too difficult to keep clipping the anchors to the side. So figure 4, with the right hand cord over the top, going underneath and out through the loop of the 4. Slide up and pull tight. Other way around, figure 4 on the right hand side, over the top, underneath the anchors and out through the loop. Slide it up and pull it tight. That's our first square knot. Put that to the side and grab your next 4. And then the last 4. So we have 3 knots in our first row. That's our first row, and they're all at exactly the same height. The next step, we're going to put the 2 outer ones on the right and the 2 outer ones on the left to the side, and we're going to grab 2 cords from the previous knot up above, with these 2 being your 2 anchor cords. And we're going to do the same again. So 1 on the left, slide up and pull tight, and to the right, slide up and pull tight. And the next 4, these are my 2 anchors. On the left, slide up and pull tight, and to the right, slide up and pull tight. We can now do the 3rd row with 2 from the knot above and 2 from the other knot above, and the 2 center ones being your anchor. So on the left, square knot, and on the right, to complete your square knot. Tighten, so we have 3 rows, 3 in the first row, 2 in the second row, and 1 in the third row. We're now going to do our hitch knot. Now, we didn't practice our hitch knot because you need multiple cords to be able to do a hitch knot. So this is how we do a hitch knot. Place the right hand cords out of the way and just count that you've got 6 on this side. So 2, 4, 6. The cord on your far left hand side is going to be what we call your leader. Your leader always sits in front of the remainder cords. We're going to clip the leader to the board like this. What we're trying to create is this line here. So make sure it's going on the angle that you want it to go. The next cord across, the second one on the left, is going to fold down towards the end of your leader, flip over and come out through the loop. Pull it tight until you get all the way to the top. Pull it as tight as you can. And do the same again with the same cord. Loop it over and slide it up. This gives you 2 coil-like cords sitting over your leader. That first one can go to the side, and now you can grab your second one and do the same. Repeat this with all the remainder cords on the left hand side. unclip your leader and put all your left hand cords, all 6 of them, to the side. We are now going to do the same on the right hand side. Grab your far right hand cord and clip it to the bottom corner. Make sure they're all in order so that you don't accidentally get them muddled up. Grab the second cord from the right hand side and bring it across to the base of the leader and flip it over and slide it up. Make sure it's nice and tight. Grab the second one. And so on until you've done all the cords on the right hand side. So you now have your 2 leaders sitting in the center, and we're going to continue with the leader from the right hand side to go all the way across. So this continues to be our leader, and we are going to knot the leader from the left hand side onto the leader from the right hand side by doing the same action as earlier. So fold it across, flip it over and slide it up. And again. Bring them to the side and organize your cords on the left hand side. So we're now working from the center out. So grab your first cord along from the center, bring it across like this, fold it over, and continue to do hitch knots with the remainder cords on the left hand side. Put your left ones to the side. And grab your leader that you used from up here. Clip it to the outside of your board and work from the center out again. Bring it across like this, under, and slide up. That finishes off our cross in the center. So now we're going to do the opposite of what we did up the top there. So grab your 2 center strands for your anchors, and one on the left and one on the right on either side, and move the other ones across. So our first row at this time is going to be a square knot of 1 in the first row, our next row will have 2, and our third row will have 3. Grab 2 from each of the previous knots above, left, right, and tighten. And our fifth row is going to be back to 3 again. Let's finish it off going down into a point. So we're now going to go 2 and then down to 1. And the last row, 1 square knot. And you see we're starting to run out of cord. So now fringe it cut it across like this, and then you need to untwist it. And you'll find that there's 3 plies of cotton in there, so just separate, do that the whole way along. When you've unraveled all the plies, you can go along and get your comb and brush it out. Those kinks get less and less over time. You could even spray it with a little bit of water and get rid of those kinks if you want. You can also unclip it now. And I quite like cutting it into a point. You can experiment with different designs. This is a 1mm cord, which is a little bit harder to work with, so it takes a little bit of getting used to because it's quite fine. And just at your local $2 shop, you can buy a lot of different cords in colours, usually in the party section. That are really good for macrame. Your designs can also be used as a necklace onto a little stick that you might find in the park. You can also start bringing beads into your design. When you get a little bit better, you can start working on more detailed projects like doing a macrame owl on a keyring. So these are all made with the 4 knots that I've taught you: square knot, spiral knot, hitch knot, and Larks head knot. Enjoy your macrame projects.